and Julie's headed down that way, so let's go catch up. We're gonna make our way through that maze of timbers. A miner wrote his first initial and last name, M. Howell. And we're just following the ore cart tracks. Here's another compromised section. You can see some timbers here on both sides that are bowing outward, like that one, and those on the right. A lot of pressure and weight here, pressing down and inward. So Tom is further up there past this little collapse where my light is. He's checking it out, and then you can see some of the snap timbers here. And then right here beside me, this one. Looks okay on the bottom, but that's where it's bowed. And here's what's up in the overhead. And then here's looking back at what we just came through. So we're making our way through this collapsed area. Check that out, that big timber. And here comes Julie. Basically a belly crawl here for the most part. Yeah. And then there's some more collapse right there. And then we're headed, once we get past this, the tunnel opens up and you can see Tom way down there. So we came to this inclined winze that goes way down there at a very steep angle. You can sort of see the timbers there where my light is. So Tom's going to check it out. He's not going to go down too far, just to the second cross timber.
I'm not planning on going down too far.
Right, yeah, just to the second
I
timber.
might inadvertently go all the way to the bottom.
Well, yeah. These two cross timbers we're talking about, there's the first one with my light. They're pretty solid, and there's one below that. But after that, there's really nothing, so it gets kind of steep, so I'll probably stop there. But if there was a ladder, we could go down this with no problem, but there isn't a ladder. It's been removed or never had one to begin with.
This timber I'm standing on wants to go down.
Yeah, forget it then.
Well, let me just get off of this one.
Okay, so that incline winze that goes to lower levels was just a little too steep to do without a rope and some other safety equipment, so we're gonna kind of can that for now. But right above the winze, the incline shaft is a sign right up there: no one permitted to ride this equipment at any time. Apparently the miners would sometimes ride the skip cars up and down the shaft, which was a big no-no because it's not very safe, but that's what that sign's all about. Kind of cool to see that. And then we're going to continue down this level where Tom's headed. It goes another 50, 100 feet or so, and we'll see what's down there.
Bunch of graffiti.
So that's the incline shaft that we're not going to go down today, but the tunnel continues this way. So a lot of cool graffiti in this mine. One of a few mines I've ever seen that has all this miner's graffiti. Some that we don't know what it says. That says Lupe there. Must have been some Spanish miners working in here because we saw a lot of Spanish sayings and Spanish names. Yeah, the miners always leaving their marks. Yeah, here's another collapse. And a collapse in slow motion. But yeah, Tom thinks we might be able to dig this out. If we dug this out, we could get to another winze that parallels the one we just were at. And that might lead us to lower levels. Here's a huge ore chute. That looks like a face. And there's the collapse. Okay, so Tom is digging out that partial collapse right beyond that, it's open tunnel again. So we'll see if we can get through there or not. You can see all the heavy timbering above him and above us right here. Some of it's splitting, but and then that's looking back towards the winds where we just were, and further back the tunnel where we just came from. And look at all that miners graffiti. Let me zoom in on some of that graffiti. That is some crazy graffiti. It's everywhere.
Yes.
This says, now look down. And that says Julie over there.
Yes.
Do you see that, Julie, where it says Julie?
Yes. No, I just saw that.
Okay, making our way back through all this collapse.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm not really handy.
But we're still going this way.
Frank, I found the pegboard.
Oh, Tom found the pegboard. Let's go check it out. So right there is the pegboard that was by this incline shaft. That's how they kept track of the ore loads. We saw one of those in the other mine not too long ago, or wherever that was, somewhere in Arizona. I've lost track. But I've seen those a few times. They use a little peg and keep track of the ore count. And more miners graffiti.
More naked ladies.
More naked ladies. And there's one right here in front of me. Check that out. And then we're going to head that way and get out of here. So we just came from that way, and there's no sign of life in this mine except for right here where my light is. Let me zoom in there. There is a spider. Probably a talc spider, if there is such a thing. But there it is. That's the only life we've seen in here. No bats, no rodents, nothing like that. So that's it.